Hello and welcome back to the channel. So first post in a while, me because I was waiting on some important news to reveal, but yeah, give a quick update. So first things first, to kickstart things off, this weekend I'll be running the Copenhagen Half Marathon as part of this marathon training block. But this is kind of been a really big race on the calendar for me because I will be representing England at the Copenhagen Half, representing the nation, wearing the national vest. So definitely excited for this. Obviously with that comes entry into the elite field. Well, as the Copenhagen Half stands, it's pretty stacked. Potentially a world record may be targeted. Who knows? I mean, Jacob Limo is running, so who knows what can happen. Just want to try and get a PB, which I set earlier in the year in January, which hopefully I'll achieve. Yeah, just wanted to enjoy this race and just excited to race it. But yeah, in terms of like training, had to kind of like back off a little bit. Just getting pretty tired. A few aches and pains. Well, at the end of July, early August time. Just had a couple weeks easy before I got back into it again. But yeah, did a good session on Sunday. So feel like starting to feel more like my normal self now. And yeah, I mean, was running pretty much at 5-minute mile pace, pretty comfortably. For a half marathon Pacific session, like 4 miles on, 1 mile steady, 4 miles on. So yeah, definitely feeling ready for this weekend. Just want to chill out the next few days and just kind of prime my body, ready to run as fast as possible time as I can in the half. So yeah, just exciting news and exciting to race it.
You're feeling fit? Yeah. I'm excited about it. Good. Give it a good crack. What's the worst that could happen?
So today you join me. It is Friday the 13th of September, which is a spooky day. But yeah, in 2 days' time I will be racing the Copenhagen Half for England. Well excited for it. Excited to race. First race in a national vest. So yeah, I'm just happy, excited. Staying at the elite athlete hotel too. So there's all sorts of great athletes here. The Kenyans, the Ethiopians, Ugandans. I believe Jacob Limo is here too, the current half marathon world record holder. And there's possibility of the world record being targeted in this race on Sunday. So I know myself, I'm probably not quite in world record shape, so I'll have to be careful when I go out and run it at the start. But yeah, it'll be a fun race. So as things stand, this is kind of like my first kind of real experience in the national vest. Outside, it's Copenhagen. It's fairly flat as the city goes. I can't see any hills around. We'll be wearing the Alpha Flies for this race. I have here. So yeah, it's about to go for a run soon, shakeout. And yeah, just been chilling most of the day.
Ed, you're back in charge of leading the group. Do you watch the elephant? Absolutely.
Right, So it's the day before the race now. Overall feeling pretty excited about tomorrow. The race vest all sorted. So we're all good there. So all good there. Yeah, it's going to be a stacked field for sure. I'd say probably the two best Jacobs in running currently will be competing. Jacob Kuplimo and Jakob Ingebrigtsen. So yeah, I mean, starting the line with those guys is going to be amazing. You know, it's first time I'm competing essentially on that elite world-class level. Towing the line with these guys. So yeah, pretty excited for it. Obviously saw them and met them earlier in the hotel. And yeah, it's kind of hasn't really sunk in yet, but I'm sure it will do. But yeah, feeling good. Just did, I think it was about 30-minute easy run this morning with 6 strides at the end, just to make my legs feel good for tomorrow. And legs didn't feel amazing today, but hopefully I'll feel good tomorrow. But yeah, just gonna chill out now. I've been playing Bloons TD6 for a couple hours now, so I'm probably just gonna go out for a little bit of a walk, stretch the legs out before we get to dinner. And yeah, I'll see you at the race.
So, I mean, I don't know how this is feel already, but... Wait, but make sure that's the card.
So just about finished the race now. Well, a couple of hours after the race. Feeling pretty tired, but overall, I'm very happy with that. About 75-second personal best for me. So nothing too shabby. But yeah, I do think. I'm feeling pretty tired now. It's definitely a solid effort. I think it's definitely feeling it the last couple of miles. Certainly, maybe I went out a tiny bit hard, but I wouldn't have changed anything different. I think I braced that really well. I basically stayed with the lead women's group and pace group for that pretty much the whole way, and pretty much stayed with the lead woman. And then yeah, she ended up finishing like 10 seconds in front of me at the end. But yeah, overall, happy performance. But yeah, so I mean, in terms of race itself, so it's a very fast course on the whole. It's mostly flat, and pretty much there's no hills on it. Corners aren't too bad either. It was a little bit of a headwind on the last like 5k, which did make that feel certainly a lot harder, especially as it's the hardest part of the race. But yeah, it was fun. And yeah, in terms of like what happened at like the top end, so obviously I warming up, got to the one with all the best athletes at the start. Managed to shake Jacob Kuplimo's hand. Didn't get a high five from Ingebrigtsen. But yeah, it's just been a fun experience. And yeah, in terms of like, I was working with Norm probably most of the way in that lead pace group, and yeah, Norm's just over here, just chilling. We're gonna get the flight back in a couple hours. But yeah, it's just been it's been a fun day. I'll probably be feeling this a lot tomorrow and the days to come. But I'm excited. It's the first race for England and a solid one. So yeah, want to keep it that way and try and represent the country again in the future.
I can't move it anymore. Mauricio.
Okay. So it's now a few days after the race. It's Tuesday to be exact, and the race was on Sunday. And yeah, I mean, I just thought I'll talk a little bit more about the race experience and maybe answer like a few like questions people may have. So yeah, let's get straight to it. So first of all, I am definitely feeling very sore. Yesterday I did a run with my mum at 10-minute mile pace. That was fine. That was enough. My legs were very sore. It's definitely the sorest I've been after a race. So for all you kind of college athletes out there or younger runners, stepping up in distance and really racing these longer distances takes so much more out your legs. You feel a lot more sore. So like my quads are like a crippled King Julian right now. They can't move it. I'm just starting my run at like 10-minute mile pace, and yeah, that's fine. But it kind of brings me on to kind of like what questions I may have. So I was staying in the elite athlete hotel with all the other, like the Kenyans, and the other East Africans, the Ugandans, and you know, I got to see like what they were doing, like what they were eating, for the most part, and I didn't really see them training, because the main reason for that is they train first thing in the morning. So that was out before I was, but when I did see like some of them on like an afternoon or evening run, yeah, they were dressed like how I am pretty much now, even though it's a little bit warmer, in full tracksuits and everything, and they were just going for kind of a slog, really. So just a nice easy jog, you know, at like 9-10-minute mile pace, and that's just to get the legs moving. But you know, it's not that taxing on the body, or is for us and for them, because the pace is so slow. There's not much it's not a high muscular demand. So yeah, it's just your legs are just able to recover from that kind of a run that much faster, but you also stretch the legs out. So it's kind of a low stress run. And yeah, like obviously I got to meet some of the world's best runners in person and got talking to them. And yeah, it was great talking to Jacob Kiplimo. I actually met him just over 2 years ago now at the Birmingham airport after the Commonwealth Games, and got a photo of him. But yeah, it was a fun experience, and I got to shake his hand before the start of the race, and yeah, we wished each other good luck. Jakob Brits, on the other hand, couldn't even get a high five off him. To be fair, he was doing his warm-up. Cut him some slack. But yeah, it was, you know, it's definitely kind of like a different kind of nerves that I've experienced being in well, surrounded by such amazing runners with such depth. Like kind of warming up, it was just kind of a bit of a surreal experience. I just had to kind of like put the Get in the Zone music on to just kind of like make myself feel like, yeah, we're ready for this. Just to, you know, block any of the negative thoughts we have, because we all have a tendency to say some negative thoughts. So yeah, like, just like as an example, like I see a lot of runners there's like, well, I don't deserve to be here, I'm not ready, I don't want to race, or I don't feel good, and yeah, you could just go on like that. But it's like, running is essentially a mental game as much as it's a physical one. So, you know, what you need to be thinking come race day, no matter what, is I can't wait to race. I'm so excited for this. I feel fast. You have that kind of thought process, you're gonna run a great time as long as you keep that thought process there. And yeah, it's easier said than done, for sure, and it's easier said than done for most people, but just to make yourself feel good. You run better when you're in a happier place than when you're in a, you know, a bad place. So just enjoy it for what it is, and I think that's what I did for the most part. And yeah, definitely enjoyed that half marathon. I got a good result out of it, a new PB, despite the fact that last month, you know, I had to have an easier month and not really do any sessions, just because I'd essentially overtrained myself, and my hamstring was flaring up, so I couldn't really run fast. So I took a week off, and yeah, just took it to easy running, so my hamstring got better, and then just slowly reintroduced it. So you can still run, you know, good, because I had a really good, you know, several months kind of leading up into this. So I'm still going to run well. It's just a matter of, you know, granted I may have been a bit more sore today because I haven't done, let's say, as hard sessions in so long. But I still did a good session like last Sunday, 4 miles on, 1 mile steady, 4 miles on, at like half marathon pace efforts. So yeah, it's just a fun experience. And yeah, in terms of like the diet, so it's kind of a struggle for me, because we're at the athlete hotel, all our food is kind of like given as a buffet, all for free for us. And yeah, it's kind of difficult for me with my nut allergy, just being careful of like avoiding the foods that may contain nuts. A big thing is like pesto and pasta and salads. And there's one case where I almost ate some salad that had pesto in it, which would not have been good the day before the race, having to take my EpiPen. But yeah, the Kenyans' diets, let's get back to on topic, and like the East Africans and their diets. So a lot of the time, you know, it's just basically mainly carb based. So it's rice, potatoes, and you know, they're having salads with it and some sort of meat. It's just something very basic, and you're just making sure they're eating enough of it. It's not much similar to not much different to like my diet and some of the other top runners. It's like it is just kind of very basic. There's nothing too much to it. But the big thing is just staying away from like the very fatty foods.
Lap 1, 9:26.
Especially that days before a race, like that don't help really improve your performance, having high fat foods. So big thing I noticed was like the pasta was a lot less touched than the like rice and potatoes. So there's quite a lot of oil in the pasta and the buffet. So a lot of athletes were choosing the rice and potatoes instead, and bread as the main source of carbs, probably for that reason. And yeah, we also had like access to getting like free massages every day. Actually took a photo of the massage sheet just so I remembered it. Some pretty big names on there. So yeah, it's just a general massage. Nothing extreme there. It's yeah, it's just a good experience. It's just having like that kind of treatment. And yeah, for the most part, you know, most runners were kind of chilling out in their hotel rooms or just in the hotel. We're not going out exploring Copenhagen, walking like 10 miles. You know, that's not a good thing before the race. You know, for me, I just played star defense for the most part against TD6. This was the boss event that weekend too, so I had a crack at that. But yeah, it's just chilled out in the hotel, went for a walk to stretch my legs, and saw Inge Brixton actually doing his easy run on the Saturday on my walk. Yeah. And again, like they're just running easy. It's not much different to a kind of a normal runner's training. It's just, yeah, just the paces and the volume. It's just a little bit different. So yeah, it's quite simple really, but definitely a very good experience. And yeah, in terms of how like the race was organised, you know, it's with it being a World Athletics event, you know, it was just kind of great to just be on that start line in that elite A group. You know, it just felt like, and it kind of like sounded weird, but it kind of felt like, yeah, this is where I belong, this is where I want to be, this is where I always wanted to be. I think it is in some way kind of like a little bit of a dream come true, you know, running with all the greatest runners of the time, you know, starting with them and, you know, running still, you know, a PB and the fastest ever time and a half. And yeah, it's I still think this experience is kind of sinking in. But yeah, I mean, like the race itself was, yeah, it was just a great race. I really enjoyed it. I've probably said that like 15 times now. But no, now I have a bit more, had a bit more time to reflect on the race. Like, you know, there's kind of like a big group kind of targeting that sub 65 mark. So there's a like 64.59 pacer, like most of the way. I think we dropped out, it was maybe about 16k, something like that. And there's a big group of us that kind of slowly dwindled down, so a lot of the lead women obviously went with this pace. Only one of them was able to hold on. I ended up finishing just behind her in the end by like maybe 10 seconds or so. But yeah, it was, I think in terms of running in that big of a group for that long felt great actually. I think like, you know, if I'm targeting like the Olympic marathon in the future, I kind of would need like training groups for like marathon tempos like that. It just felt really nice to run in a big group. And you just kind of like get dragged along. But I think, you know, maybe, you know, looking back at the race, like some of the corners may have taken a bit too wide, or you may have not taken the racing line at points, but it's kind of hard to tell when you're stuck in like the middle of a big group at times where the racing line is, because unless you know exactly where the corner is, you don't know which side of the road to run on. So you're not always running the racing tangent, so you end up running slightly more than the distance. So I mean, on my watch I got it as 13.25 miles, which I know is about 200 meters longer than a half marathon. Don't know if that's super accurate, but I do think, you know, maybe ran a little bit more than a half marathon for sure, because that'd been the minimum distance, a half, with the World Athletics event. So it did feel like I was running faster than like 5 minute mile pace. I know exactly what that pace feels like. I ran it so much in training. I feel like I was running like mid 450s, low 450s for the most part, till the end, where I know like I was definitely feeling it like the last 2 miles and slowed down.
8:57.
Because yeah, at that point I was just like fighting to get to the finish. I didn't really blow up too bad, but I was definitely working hard into the headwind too, so I don't suppose that helps. But yeah, it's yeah, that's kind of really it. What I have to say for the race vlog. This one, first international and debut, I suppose, in a national vest, and hopefully a lot more to come. You know, next thing agenda, getting like Team GB vest, and you know, looking at the Olympics in future years. So yeah, next video I'm thinking of doing something about running shoes. It's about time I did something about running shoes. So thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any comments or any questions or want to find out more, and I'll see you soon.